this is what came back from CGC. Yeah, I did a 25 book pre-screen. My first ever signature verification submission. Expecting maybe get 15, 18 bucks back. Got 24 out of 25 as a 9.8. So yeah, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm just going to pull them out one by one. Maybe if there's something to talk about, we'll talk about it, but mainly just put the cost on the screen, what I approximately think it's worth it. Some of these don't have many sales, so I'm just going to be conservative based on last sales, adjacent sales, that type of thing, and we'll just go through it. I kind of rearranged it a little bit already to kind of put it in order by artist or writer, whoever happened to sign the book. So let's just get started right here. And what better way to get started than a little bit of Maria Wolf, who I had the pleasure of talking to at the convention a couple of times. Very, very, very nice lady. And she signed several books for me. This is her first work on DC. She told me she doesn't really care for this work she did very much, but I absolutely love it. I mean, Maria Wolf, drawing a wolf. She said that she told my youngest daughter that that's her favorite thing to draw is wolves. Makes sense, right? So yeah, I love the new label. I don't know, let me know in the comments what you think about it. I just love the look of it, just caught my eye. I like it better than the regular label that they have for the witness signatures. So that's the main reason I wanted to do this. No other reason. And I mean, I thought it would be a good experiment to test. Now, I could have had all of these signatures witnessed. I got them signed personally. There were CGC people there that could have witnessed it. But I figured, what the heck? Why don't I just get a bunch of signatures? We'll test out the program and see what happens. So first one, obviously, beautiful Maria Wolf cover, first DC work. I wish they would put that on the label, but that's what she told me it was. I didn't know that until I set it down in front of her, and she told me it was her first work on DC. Okay, another Maria Wolf. Beautiful signature. Now this one, I hate to say it, this is a 9.9. The next one is a 9.9 as well. There is nothing on this book. Maybe the slightest hint of a bindery thing right at the top. Nothing on the bottom. This is as flawless as it gets for any comic. There's no spine tick, no spine stress, no man-made defect. I looked this over with a fine-tooth comb with magnification multiple times at different times just to make sure I wasn't missing anything. There is absolutely nothing going on this book. It is a 100% a 9.9. If there ever is a 9.9 pre-screen, if that actually happens, I'm going to resubmit that one. And the next one as well, because that is a 9.9. I don't say that often or lightly. I'm a conservative grader, but there is absolutely nothing on this book but just a minute hint of a bindery thing on the top. But just look at it. Look at the pictures, look at the CGC number, and look at it online and the photos and everything. It's just absolutely perfect. Anyways, I'm not going to complain about it because I'm going to keep this in the PC anyway, and I'll go for that 9.9 sometime down the road. Almost want to just submit it right now, but I'm going to wait and see if that 9.9 pre-screen actually happens. That way they're actually thinking on their head, this could be a 9.9. Still happy with the 9.8. I love the look, love the signature. Whether it says 9.8, 9.9, it's still the same book. Since I'm not selling it, not a big deal right now. But I will want that 9.9 on the label because it is a 9.9, hands down. Same exact one here. I don't need to put it on the thing, but yeah, second copy. Actually, I don't know if this one is the 9.9. Actually, it's not this one that's the 9.9. It's the first one I showed you, the Void Rivals. This one I don't believe is a 9.9. It could get 9.9. The one that is a 9.9 is this one. This is my other 9.9. Beautiful, perfect Transformers Virgin Edition #1 from last year, 2023. Has the Wolf signature on it now, but once again, absolutely perfect. Now, this could be the one. Yeah, it could be this one. It's one of these two. One of the two is a 9.9. Okay, the one with the remark. That's the one I should be showing you. This is the 9.9. Sorry about that. I should be better prepared on these, but I think this one is the 9.9. I had her do the sketch. I was afraid, this is kind of a test submission too. I sent a couple sketches in because I was afraid they would give it like a green label, but they didn't. All they did was put Maria Wolf authenticated autograph sketch on cover. Well, it's obvious that's Maria Wolf's sketch, so I don't think a buyer is really going to care that it just says sketch on cover. It doesn't say Maria Wolf's sketch on cover, but who else would have done it? She's done other ones of these. This is Megatron. I also had her do a Optimus Prime one as well. I've got that one ready to go off the CGC another time. But yeah, thrilled with that sketch. It's just absolutely beautiful. And yeah, this is the 9.9, I believe. Look at it online if you want with that serial number. I think that's the 9.9. Once again, nothing going on in this book. 100% a 9.9 in my opinion. I couldn't find a defect on it. Isn't that the definition of a 9.9 or 10? I think it had one little bindery thing. And here's the other version here. The other virgin copy. And that one I believe is a 9.8. And then the regular with the trade and everything on it. 9.8 copy as well. Absolutely love this book. And those are going to be PC copies. I might sell one of them. I'm not going to sell the one I think is a 9.9. I'm keeping the sketch forever, obviously. All right, and also I got two of these. They got 9.8. The Doom #1. Another beautiful cover by Maria Wolf. I actually did have one that I thought was a 9.9 that I had her do a sketch on. And when she returned it to me, she had done several sketches, and I didn't notice it at the time, didn't have my glasses on. She gave me somebody else's book. So I'm going to submit that one. I'll probably get 9.4 or something like that, but it was just beat up. It looked like a 2-year-old had handled it. And unfortunately, somebody out there is probably going to get 9.9 or could get 9.9 with my copy because it was immaculate. But yeah, I'm happy with the two 9.8s as well in this book. That's one, and there's the other. And probably my favorite of the bunch is this one. Now, isn't that freaking awesome? I saw a guy I was talking to that was a fan of the channel stop me, and he had a copy of another book, I believe, or maybe it was this book, that had this sketch on it. So I just had to have it, so I had her do that as well for me. Isn't that like crazy next level good? Kids love it. I love it. Wife is a horror fan. She loves it. So, yeah, once again, a PC book. That is never going anywhere. I'm going to put that somewhere up here on the wall, especially at Halloween time. It's just amazing. Once again, wolves, right? Maria Wolf. Okay, let's do an Al Milgrom. Black Cat appearance. Amazing Spider-Man number 226. Had him sign that on day 3. Had the kids with me. And we stopped by and got one more signature. I realized I had this one in the collection. I forgot about it. It was a 9.6 and I thought it could get a bump. So I cracked it, had him sign it, submitted it, got the 9.8. So it's not a high dollar book or anything like that, but I just like it. And I think it should be more valuable than it actually is. But it doesn't matter to me. It's not about the value. I just love the book. So wanted to get his signature on it and get the 9.8. All right, I found this one online right before the show, and I knew that it had 9.8 potential, and it had a green label signed by Jock right there. And so I bought it, and thinking because they have this authentication program now, I'll just buy it, hopefully get a 9.8, and there we go. We got an upgrade on it. That's Detective Comics 880 from 2011, I believe. Can't see there. Is that 2011? Yeah, I think so. So, you know, it's more modern than I normally work on, but that's okay. Actually, books in the last 20 years are, in a lot of ways, a lot easier to work on. The defects seem to come out of the covers without any moisture. I don't know why. Let me know if your experience is similar. So when I saw an ad pop up on my Instagram for this book here, I just had to have a couple of copies. He was doing the signing. He was originally going to do the bloody claws, the Wolverine claws, but ended up, they were running short on time and they just weren't doing it. I did have him do the blood splatter for me, so I'm happy about that. But I just love the cover, negative space with the red signature right in the middle. Adam Kubert. It's the World War III Deadpool and Wolverine. And obviously the movie's coming out right now. So yeah, I'm going to keep one. I've got another copy here that I'm going to sell. Don't have any idea what this is worth. Maybe there's some sales by now. As well, sell that one. Here's somebody would love to have that. And while I was at it, I picked up a Deluxe Edition Wolverine 88, the original here, from 1994. And Larry Hama was available. Adam Kubert was available, so I had them sign. Nice lady in the line right behind me with her husband. And she was the one that actually suggested that I get this color on the legs right here. Thank you very much for that piece of advice. And look how awesome that looks. Isn't that cool? So, yeah, thrilled to have that book. Thinking about holding on to it. I can't hold on to everything. So I might just go ahead and sell that one. Capitalize on the fact that the movie's out and all that good stuff. Because I just only have so much room in this tiny little space that I have here. I can't keep everything that I love or I would not have room to operate in here. Alright, I picked this one up. Believe it or not, even with this white cover, it does have a darker background, but I bought several copies of this when it came out. And they were all just torn up on the spine. I couldn't find one that was a 9.8 candidate, except for this one. So Scotty Young's line on the first 2 days was just ridiculously long, so I didn't get the signature then. But on the third day, it was manageable. Love the cheeseburger, right? And I got 2 copies of this one. And I had a plan for this book. One I'm probably going to keep. Right? It's the Scotty Young variant, the facsimile edition. Got his signature right here with the silver pen. And absolutely love that cover. Got 2 copies. I've already picked out the one I'm going to keep. This signature here, which one is it? Is a little bit cleaner, I think. So I'm going to keep this one and sell this one. And what I'm going to do, let me know what you think of this idea, is I had a regular copy that was a 9.8 candidate that I had Chris Claremont sign in the same exact spot. I know he's not the cover artist. That's okay. He's the creator of the story. And Scotty Young here in silver. I thought this would be a good bundle to try and sell together. I think these would look pretty good on the wall right next to each other. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. I'm going to hang it up for a little while in my room here and enjoy it. But yeah, that's a pretty good book to have with a Chris Claremont signature in a 9.8. Not the easiest book in the world to get 9.8 on, but I've done it 2 or 3 times this year. So very, very, very happy about that. All right, and obviously sticking with Chris Claremont here, we've got X-Men number 106. Now I bought several books from the same gentleman. He was selling a bunch of 9.6s. I believe they were all 9.6s. Maybe a couple were 9.4s. And I just bought them as a bundle from him. And they all came back 9.8 so far. Might have a couple more still at CGC. This is one of the signature ones. I think I had Chris Claremont sign 7 or 8 books for me. And this is one of them. And glad to have that. X-Men 106 in a 9.8. Once again, hard to get these older X-Men from the Bronze Age in a 9.8. So, and to basically get every single one I submitted in this submission a 9.8 is pretty special. I think these were all in older slabs and they had never been cleaned or pressed. So I had to jump on them. Look at that beautiful cover. Once again, beautiful signature, penmanship by Chris Claremont. This is X-Men 103. Yeah, another pretty big X-Men key. And very, very glad to have it in a 9.8. Now I'm selling all of these. I won't be holding on to any of these older X-Men, except maybe the 141 for a little while. So sticking with Chris Claremont, we got another beautiful Bronze Age 9.8, X-Men number 124. Very, very happy to have it. And the last Chris Claremont I have in this submission. Last but certainly not least, this is a pretty big book. X-Men number 131. Second Dazzler. This is a White Queen book here. And yeah, it's a big key, huge key. And having it in a 9.8 is pretty dang cool. This might be my second 9.8 on this book. And I think I have another one off at CGC right now. So yeah, not the easiest book in the world with that spine right there. Try finding a spine this nice on this book. Look at that. Isn't that ridiculous? From 1980. Somebody took pretty good care of this book. To get the 9.8 here is pretty phenomenal. And definitely glad I found that guy that was selling those books. All right. Let's do a Rick Leonardi now. Check this out. Spider-Man 2099, number 1. And Mr. Leonardi was nice enough to sign this book for me. Yeah. What else do I need to say about this book? This is I found out it has a couple common ticks right here around this staple. They were pretty severe when I got it. I cleaned them up quite a bit, but I've seen it on several copies now. And pretty much that was all that was going on in this book. It was a 9.6, I believe, beforehand. And yeah, once again, pretty big book and a 9.8. So every time I get a book in, I'm just, why can't I just keep that book? But I can't do it. I gotta sell it. I want to be able to buy more books. If I keep everything, I'll go broke and just have a bunch of money tied up in comic books and no money to buy other books with. All right, and this is the last one for today. Last but not least, it's not all about value. It's about what you love. And I absolutely love this cover. John Romita Jr. actually bought this. I paid, I believe it was $7 for this book. And I got it raw. I thought it looked super high grade. I thought it was borderline 9.6, 9.8 when I got it. And I kept it raw in the collection forever. But Romita Jr. was at the convention, and I didn't realize he wasn't going to be there Sunday because that's the day I had set aside to get it signed. So I was not able to see him to get it signed. But as I was putting it away, I just opened the cover up. Just happened to open it up, and his signature was on page 1. So yeah, I would have had a double signature because I didn't even know it was there when I had it ready to go. I actually had it in the window bag and everything ready to go, and turns out it had his signature already. So yeah, very happy to have this label and a John Romita Jr. Probably going to keep it. I've already got a 9.8 newsstand of this book, but if I'm going to hoard any book, this might be the one I'm going to do it with. It's not a super high dollar. It's not like I'm going to flip it and get a ton of money, so why would I want to sell it? I can just hang on to it. I think it'll steadily go up in value over time anyway, so why not hang on to it? And yeah, just absolutely love that cover. So wow, that's it. All 24 books in the books. And I have to say probably my favorite of the whole batch, although it's probably a tie for like 5 different books, but I'm going to go with this one just because it was such a joy to talk to Maria Wolf and get this remark done by her. And yeah, might be my new favorite cover. Not sure. Definitely maybe my favorite horror cover now. So yeah, this is going on the wall here somewhere. Thank you, Maria, for doing that. Shout out to you. Overall, I want to say that I love the label. Let me know in the comments what you think about this label. Do we trust the JSA labels? Obviously, we can trust these because I had these signed myself, but what do you think about it? Do you think they should be valued the same as a witness signature? Are witness signatures going to no longer be a thing because of this? Are they going to phase that out? I wouldn't be surprised. Very, very happy overall with the submission. Obviously, I should be right. So the one book that did not get the 9.8 was a Firestorm number 1 signed by Al Milgrom. So it was not the most defect book in here. It was a pretty obvious 9.8 candidate. So I don't know why. It did have a slight little staple split. I just don't know if that's common for the book or not. I'll have to do some research on that. It was a 9.6, I believe, before, so I might just resubmit it regular and just be happy with a 9.4, 9.6. It's probably going to be a PC book just because I want to have a copy of that because I think it's an underrated. I actually talked to Al Milgrom about that book, and he said he was just caught kind of up in a time when they were just canceling a lot of comics at that time because of budgetary reasons, and Firestorm kind of got caught up in it. Not because of the popularity or anything of the character, Let me know if you know anything about that in the comments. So don't forget, sign up for my newsletter, improvecollecting.com. Putting together some courses on how to buy and sell comics, my process for doing it, as well as how I clean and press comics as well. So stay nerdy, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So when I saw an ad pop up on my Instagram from Matter Kubert,